We're approaching the end of July and Real Madrid have actually made some moves in the transfer window. As opposed to usual where typically in the summers Real Madrid tend to either just loan out a young star or make a small sale that's not really significant to the squad. Recently Real Madrid have spent a lot of their summers just kind of typically going through the motion. We don't typically buy players, but then every now and then, every few summers, they're very, very active and they splurge, and this was one of those summers. And what I want to do today is rank Real Madrid's summer transfer window so far. Now, we are going to rank them individually, but I also want to give an overall ranking to the additions of the summer transfer window and then an overall ranking of the window itself. The departures, we can kind of rank them all together. I don't want to go through them individually, it'll take too long. So we can rank them all together. And I think departures-wise, I want to give it an A. If I just look at the Castilla players, I want to give it an A. Why? Because Madrid are getting millions into the club for a bunch of youngsters that are benefiting and getting experience and getting game time. And in the long term, if they make it, if they become what Real Madrid think they can become and what they hope to become, it will only benefit Real Madrid because they put themselves in a very, very good position to pick those youngsters back up. So, for looking at just the youngsters, I could easily give it an A. But because we've lost Modric, I kind of want to put it in a B because Modric was still a big part of Real Madrid. He still contributed a lot. He was still a big player and someone who was always a go-to super sub. So for that reason, I want to give it a B, and I think I've kind of talked myself into it because of Modric's departure alone. Vasquez also offered a lot to the team and was a phenomenal squad player, and Vallejo didn't really offer much. He was either injured or just not good enough a lot of the times. But the other two definitely contributed and would have continued to contribute if they stayed. So because of that reason, I'm going to give the departures a B+. On to the additions. Now, I want to try to stay away from what they did at the Club World Cup. I want to try and not incorporate their performances at the Club World Cup into my judgment, but it's going to be very, very hard. Because Dean Huijsen was phenomenal. He was absolutely fantastic. The guy's looked like he's been playing for Real Madrid for years, and he kicked off his Real Madrid career basically in the same way Jude Bellingham kicked off his Real Madrid career. Yeah, he's a defender. He's not going to be scoring a goal in every game like Jude was doing. But just in terms of the way he's kind of taken over the defence and the way he looked so secure and as if he's been doing this his whole life, Dean Huijsen has had a phenomenal start. And if he continues doing what he's done in the Club World Cup, he is going to be a centre-back that Real Madrid can rely on for years. So we're going to give Huijsen an A. I think it's very, very easy to say he gets an A. I mean, an argument could be made for why he could go into B, and the argument is he wasn't available for the PSG game. But he's young. He made a very, very, very unnecessary mistake. But he will learn. He will gain the experience. He will gain the understanding. And he'll probably learn to not, or at least be told not to do that again. So I'm giving Dean Huijsen an A. Next, we have Trent Alexander-Arnold, who I'm very, very happy with. Trent, offensively, is without question one of, if not the greatest fullback in world football. Like, this guy's assists, his numbers, his threat from his crosses, just what he offers on the ball, anywhere basically on the right side of the pitch. If he picks up the ball and he gets his head up, what he can offer and what he can do is second to none. So Trent is a phenomenal addition, and a lot of Madridistas are very, very happy to pick him up. And there's a reason Liverpool fans are so unhappy that he's left, because he is such a big player, because he offers so much. So he is a great addition to the team. And I'm also going to give him an A. I don't want to be too harsh on him and say he wasn't available in the PSG game, because if I'm going to give Huijsen an A for missing the PSG game, it's not fair to give Trent a B for missing the PSG game. So Trent gets an A as well. He got injured. He was unavailable for the PSG game. Listen, these two being available aren't changing the outcome of those games. But Real Madrid got them in for the Club World Cup competition because we needed them for these games. We didn't need them for the group stage games. We needed them for the big knockout stage games. We wanted to win this tournament, and we needed them in the more difficult latter stages of the competition. Neither were available, but as I said earlier, I don't want to judge them on just that competition. I want to judge them overall, and I think Trent is going to be a phenomenal addition to the squad. He not only provides cover for Dani Carvajal and offers him rest, but he provides a completely different option on the right. He's a different type and profile of player. Don't get me wrong, Carvajal also can get forward, and there's been many instances in the past where Carvajal's crosses have led to great Real Madrid goals and moments, but Trent is still a very different profile to Dani, and the fact that Dani's coming back from a major injury, it offers him the opportunity to just take his time in coming back. He doesn't have to rush back into the thick of things. Next, we have Franco Mastantuono, who I don't know how to judge this guy, because I don't know how he fits into Xabi Alonso's system. Because if Xabi Alonso plays 4-3-3, then Mastantuono falls into the same issues that Marco Asensio had in the past when he was Real Madrid's right winger. The same problem Arda Güler kind of has whenever he plays right wing. He just doesn't have, I mean, I don't watch him. I don't watch the Argentinian league, so I don't watch him that much. But what I've seen, he just doesn't have the pace, and he doesn't have the one-on-one ability that a Rodrigo, an Mbappe, a Vini have, right? A Mo Salah has. A typical winger has. He doesn't have those attributes. He's more about his shooting and his passing. He more kind of leans towards what a midfielder does or has. So I'm just unsure about where he wants to play. Now, there has been reports of the conversations they've had, and there have been reports that this guy's coming to play straight away. He's not coming to just be a sub or a squad player for experience. He's coming to Real Madrid because Xabi Alonso wants him to be playing and going straight off the bat. So I don't really know where he's going, and I don't know where Xabi Alonso's plans for him is, but the way I've seen it and what I've seen from his profile, he looks more like a central midfielder than a winger. And like I said, if Real Madrid play a 5-back, there's no winger anyways. But there are various midfielders, and there's one in particular that's missing, and that's Jude Bellingham. So for the first couple months of the season where we're missing our main attacking midfielder, is Mastantuono going to be filling that hole? That could be a factor. So for Mastantuono, because he's young and because he could end up being another Rodrigo or Vinicius, who's joined Real Madrid at very, very young but ends up turning into a big superstar as time goes on and as he gains experience, I'm going to give him a B. But again, a large part of that just kind of is because I don't know where he fits into the Real Madrid system or where he fits into Xabi Alonso's system. Finally, we have Alvaro Carerras, who is going straight to A. Listen, I don't watch the Portuguese league. I don't watch Benfica. I don't know what Carerras is about. I didn't even watch them in the Champions League, and I didn't really watch them in the Club World Cup. What I do know is Carerras is filling a gap and a hole and a problem Real Madrid have needed to fix for a while. We have needed a competent, an offensive fullback for a while, and we have not had that. Fran Garcia done phenomenal at the Club World Cup, but whether he's going to be able to do that for a whole season, we don't know. Plus, even if he does do that for the whole season and he maintains this form and he turns out to be what we want him and we need from a left back to be, he doesn't have backup. Mendy is just injured way too often, and he misses way too many games. So Fran Garcia would need to play every single game, or Camavinga would have to slot in. So Carreras was very, very needed, and not because I've seen him play or because I know what he offers, but because Real Madrid were willing to spend 50 million euros on this guy, and because he feels such a big problem area for us and provides cover and provides maybe what we've been lacking in offensive output from that left back position. For those reasons, he gets an A. Now, the overall ranking I'm giving Real Madrid summer transfer window is a B plus, maybe minus plus. I'm leaning towards plus. Let's say B plus. I'm giving Real Madrid a B plus, and the reason I'm giving them a B plus is because the departures have been phenomenal. Not counting the Modric and Vasquez situation. The youngsters going and millions coming in, phenomenal. The additions have also been great because they're addressing problem areas in the Real Madrid squad. We're not lacking for attackers. We don't need help in attack. What we are lacking is defenders, and we have addressed a lot of those concerns with the positions we need. We've got Dean Huijsen in. We've needed a centre-back for a while. We've got a left-back in and a right-back in. We have needed to address those positions for a while. The reason it's still a B plus, though, is because there's still things we need to address. The reason we're not an A or an A plus is because Real Madrid still need another centre-back. Eder Militao is still only just coming back from big injury, and we don't know how long it's going to take him to get back to his level, if at all. Rudiger was playing with a knee injury for 7 months. He will probably go back to his level, But he also needs cover. Rudiger is getting on in age and he needs cover. And Alaba, so far, hasn't maintained the level he had before his injury. Whether he gets there, we don't know, because like Rudiger, he is getting on. So we have 3 of our 4 or 5. How many centre-backs do we have? I think we have those 4. We have Dean, we have Alaba, we have Eder, and we have Rudy. And the only one who can... And then Tchouameni if he drops in. So we have 4 centre-backs, 3 of which are either injured or coming back from a big injury, and we just don't know where they're going to be. So we need another centre-back. And we also need a profile in midfielder, just a midfielder that kind of dictates play. We're screaming out for it. But, and this is a big but, I don't want to judge Madrid too heavily on not being able to get that kind of profile, because that kind of profile doesn't really exist in the market right now and in football right now. Yes, you have, like, for example, a Vitinha, but PSG's never letting Vitinha go. They are never letting one of their biggest players on their pitch, the pitch, go. Like, it's just never going to happen. So I don't want to say, oh, Vitinha, because that's just unrealistic. So realistically, there isn't really anybody available for Real Madrid. So I don't want to judge them too heavily on that. It's more so the centre-back. We need to get another centre-back in. So for that reason, Real Madrid's transfer window is getting a B+ from me. But I am going to call the video there. Thanks for watching and peace.